Hi everyone, this is Dr. Linda Manning in Ottawa, Ontario. Welcome back to the OCISO Career Mentorship Program series. We're doing job search strategies for newcomers in the Canadian workplace, and we're calling this series Managing Your Career on Purpose. We're here today with more information on career convergence based on Dr. John Paul Hatala's vision of the job search path and career strategies for employment success. As an economist, I want to talk to you a little bit about job search realities that are particularly relevant to the Canadian newcomer. You'll remember from last week that there were three interrelated forces that affect your job search success: the activities that you do, the motivation that you maintain, and the economic and job search realities that you face. The strategic job seeker understands all three forces. Today, let's talk some about the realities. I'd like you to close your eyes for a second and picture yourself in your ideal job. Got the image? The reality is that you will probably not get that job for a while. You may get there, but you'll get there much faster with the right strategy. We've been encouraging you to pursue a strategic approach to job search. Identify your skill gaps. These might be preventing you from getting your ideal job. And then look for jobs that match your skills and that help you develop the skills that will close those gaps. In today's economy, newcomers are not the only ones who need to consider this approach. Young Canadian graduates have discovered that the jobs they studied to get may not even exist any longer, or the requirements have changed. Older Canadians who face financial challenges are returning to the workforce and finding it difficult to fit back in. Newcomers have a bit of an advantage. You know that you have to adapt to a new labor market and workforce. The changes you've made are already substantial. You are more ready than the average Canadian to try a new approach and maybe adjust your career goals. Be sure to think about Dr. Hatala's job search strategy. After you've identified your desired job and your skills gaps, look for jobs that give you the skills that you need. Now, a few years ago, the Government of Canada did a study of newcomer employment realities. The researchers collected data 3 times with the same people. We call that 3 waves. 6 months after the immigrants arrived, then again after 2 years, and then finally after 4 years. They wanted to measure whether immigrants were employed and whether their employment was appropriate for their skills and experience. It is well known that the better the fit between your job and your skills and experience, the more productive you can be. High productivity is the key to economic growth. And of course, productive employees are important to the employer. So what they found is that at 6 months, about 35% of the skilled immigrants were in high-skilled jobs, and this percentage rose to about 47% 4 years after they arrived. But look at the numbers for job in intended field. After 6 months, 45% had a job in their intended field, but that dropped to 37% after 4 years. Many newcomers would like to come to Canada and have a job similar to the one that they had back home. What they found is that 37% of them had a job similar to the one they used to have 6 months after they got here, but that number dropped to 30% by the time they'd been here for 4 years. Now, we want all of these numbers to go up, of course. We especially want increases in jobs that fit the skills and credentials of newcomers. These are measured in the first 2 columns of this table. But what about the other 2 measures? Jobs in your intended field and jobs similar to the ones before arrival. I'm not so sure that we need these numbers to go up. If you follow the strategic job search approach, provided the jobs you have match your skills and either give you the skills to qualify for your ideal job, or it is the ideal job, there's a good chance you might be in a very different job than you used to be, and your job might even be in a different industry than you had imagined. That's not a bad thing as long as the skills and experience and credentials that you have match the job that you're in, and that you're satisfied with that job, that you're growing, you're productive, and you're contributing to the Canadian economy, and you're making an income in a job that you enjoy and you feel satisfied with. Okay, so it's time for you to do some research to discover a little bit about realities in your industry. I've got some suggestions here. First, check out the article titled "The Workplace Realities." The link is here and also below this in the transcript of this talk, so you'll be able to click on it from there. Also, look in the newspaper, listen to the radio, and look on the internet for information about job search realities in your field. Which industries seem to be doing the best? What are the current events that seem to be affecting hiring in your field? A great resource on the internet is StumbleUpon. You go to stumbleupon.com, and when you join for free, you select the topics you're interested in. You'll start getting articles and information about that topic, and when you see them, you'll either pass on them or you'll like them and read them and keep them. As you do that, StumbleUpon gets a better idea of what you're looking for, and gradually the articles that come your way are increasingly relevant to you. I've also put a link to a couple of interesting articles. The first one describes the idea of career transition, written for mature workers. I thought this was important because when I started today's session, I mentioned that mature workers are having similar issues that you face, but this article actually demonstrates that. And even though it's not written with you in mind, I think you'll find it useful. The other article is a very nice article that describes the value that today's immigrants bring to the Canadian economy, another part of the reality. And it's written by a well-known economist, so I think you might enjoy that. And finally, don't forget to join LinkedIn groups. Find one or two that fit your interests, watch the discussions for a while, like some, follow some of the group members, and pose questions or add content. Maybe one of the articles you find on StumbleUpon will make a great contribution to the group. Don't ask for a job there. Just engage others in conversation and become known to the group and get to know others. It's another step in building your network and doing your research. And please use the comment section below to report what you found about economic and job search realities in your field or anything else. Invite others to comment and discuss these findings. That's it for this time. Thanks for tuning in to the OCISO Career Mentoring Program series titled Managing Your Career on Purpose. See you next time.